Hey guys, join me and my family on our 8-day Florida vacation. It was actually technically 10 days, but the travel days I'm not making videos of. This is the first day and we're spending the day at Animal Kingdom. Didn't make it for rope drop, but we made it a few minutes after the park opened, which is pretty impressive considering Florida is 3 hours ahead from where we live. I purchased Memory Maker for this trip, so we had to make sure to hit up all the PhotoPass spots. As soon as we scanned into the parks, I started realizing how much more advanced Walt Disney World was versus Disneyland. They give you a card if you don't have a magic band. That's awesome. The ride my kids were most excited for was Everest, so we made our way across the park to semi-rope drop Everest. We didn't really get there for rope drop, but it was still a pretty short line. The entire time we were worried that my youngest wouldn't be 44 inches, but phew, she was just barely 44 inches, which is crazy because when we went to Disneyland in December, she only was just barely 42 inches. I don't know how it worked out, but it did, and it was amazing. She is a wild one. This was actually my first time riding Everest because my kids were too scared the last time I was there, but I was really surprised at how long you're up at this point for. Like, it was a really long time. I'm not surprised there's so many elastics now. My daughter in the back, closing her eyes, is the one that wanted to go on this ride. She says she loves it, but her face is telling me otherwise. After this, we went to Dino Land and rode, I don't know what these ones are called, the little dinosaurs that go up and down like Dumbo. I'm pretty sure I rode this ride last time I was there, but I just forgot. And now that I've been to Disneyland so many times recently, this ride has so much potential. They need to update it. They need to make it more like Indiana Jones. Make it more scary. After we rode Dinosaur, we headed over to Pandora. We stopped to get pictures, and honestly, it was so hot that they were terrible. You can see it in our faces how disgustingly hot it was. I do not recommend going in May if you're from British Columbia and you can't handle the heat, like me. After Pandora, we went to It's a Bug's Life to get out of the sun and get in some air conditioning. The show was alright. I wouldn't really make time to see it again, except for if I needed air conditioning like this time, but it was pretty cool that it's in the Tree of Life. After It's a Bug's Life, we headed back to the hotel, which broke my heart because I did not want to take a midday break, but we just could not handle the heat. And I think because we had gotten not that much sleep, everybody was just a little bit cranky, so we all had a quick power nap and then headed back to the park. By the time we actually got back to the park, we only had 2 hours, so the first thing we did was Kilimanjaro Safari, which I thought we weren't going to see that many animals because everybody says you need to see that at the very end of the night or in the very beginning of the morning, and I'm here to say that's a lie. That is a myth. We saw lots. It was amazing. We actually had to stop the tour for a little bit because the rhinos were in the way, which no complaint because they were adorable. And the clock was really ticking and we rushed over to Cali River Rapids because this is one of Haley's favorite rides. I really enjoyed this scene right here. I don't know what it is, like the smoke and everything. I loved the little details. And then with like 2 minutes to spare, we entered into the Everest line for our final ride at Animal Kingdom. And this time it was actually like a rope drop line. Like I think we walked right up until you get outside where the ride is. We got to run right through it. And then we ended the day at the pool at Port Orleans Riverside, which is where we were staying if you haven't already made that connection. I did find that the pool was pretty busy though. Make sure you hit that follow button to see day 2.